Hello and welcome, everybody. I'm Jono, the Eternal Optimist, and how you doing? Sorry. Is it just me, or is this particular stream extra cursed? And I mean, like, more cursed than usual. But hello, welcome, Honey Rose, Seal, Spiceful, Winchester. How you guys doing? Sorry. I will explain what happened in a moment. But yes, I am happy that we are here and we are live and everything is okay. Everything is okay. Relatively scuff-free as well. So that's a relief. Let me turn down the music just a bit. Oh my goodness. So I thought I'd have plenty of time coming home today on the bus, on the train. I was like, okay, this should be fine. Little did I underestimate just how bad Deutsche Bahn can be. The door fell off the train. Hector, oh my goodness, thank you, Hector, for your support of the Primal Wings. Greatly appreciated. By the way, for 2025, I'm going to revamp the memberships.
Hector became a member.
Whoa.
Hector celebrates
Wait,
27 months of membership. Ow, 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 ow,
my,
ow, 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 ow.
Yeah, the door fell off the train.
Ow, 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 ow.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm going to revamp the memberships because I was afraid to touch them because YouTube was like, if you touch them, all your members disappear. And I'm like, eh. But I'm going to revamp them for 2025. It's been like 3 or 4 years now. And I feel like some of the reward structures doesn't make sense with how my channel is now. So I'm going to revamp them for January of next year. So I thought, New Year is a good time to sort of like make things more accurate. All right, you got to head back to work. Thank you, Hector, for coming by. Have a great time at work. Hope it all goes smoothly for you. And yes, Seal, the door fell off the train, which is why I was late today. I don't blame them for delaying the train because the door fell off, but at the same time, it's very inconvenient for everybody else. Like, maybe they should make sure the maintenance is up to standard so that the doors don't fall off. The sad thing is, that's not the first time I've seen a door fall off a train. When I was in the Netherlands, I saw a door fall off the train, and literally the train driver got out of his seat, grabbed the door, and slotted it back into place. And I'm sitting there going, never lean against the doors, ever. I'm never doing that. I am never, ever leaning against the train doors ever again. New fear unlocked. Good luck with work. Yes, good luck with work. An entire door fell off. Yep. New fear unlocked with that one. And the other tricky thing is that I use an app called Too Good To Go, where basically I can get a whole bunch of my groceries for super discounted. Essentially, it's any food that was going to be thrown away or is about to expire and they couldn't sell or is damaged or whatnot. You can basically get a mystery box. It's like a gacha box, but for €3 or €4 or €6, depending on what the shop sets it at. And they also have like a reverse bidding system where it starts at 6, but if nobody claims it, it starts going down lower, closer to the close-off time. So it's like a reverse bid. And when I was on the way home from the train, I was like, oh, that's great. I see I can grab Too Good To Go, which should be nice. I can get some extra food supplies. That would be good. So I grabbed 2 of them, not realizing the door was going to fall off the train. So I was like a few minutes late past the collection time, and I sprinted to the shop, like full sprint. I got there like huffing and puffing, and I just managed to get the oh, KJ, thank you so much for coming a member. But that's why I'm coughing so much. When you really sprint and you weren't ready for it.
K_Kaj became a member. K_Kaj celebrates 7 months of membership.
That's why I'm coughing so much, because I was sprinting to the shop. But I've got this really nice dinner right now. It cost me €4. I got a whole bag. I got eggs, I got milk, I got some like 4 blocks of cheese. I got this green pesto, pasta, and sun-dried tomato mix with lemon. All of it for €4. I got a whole thing. Oh yeah, and about half a kilogram of stir-fried chicken pre-made mix. So for €4, half a kilogram of chicken, pre-made stir-fry mix, a whole bowl of like pasta pesto, and a whole bunch of other things, like a box of eggs that was missing one egg, and a sort of smushed carton of milk. But I mean, the milk inside is still good. So I have, for €4, it's an absolute steal, right? I love this app so much, but it is a bit of a gotcha. Dang, that is cheap, right? It's called Too Good To Go. It is my absolute favorite app. It has saved me, let me type it out. Too Good To Go. There we go. It has saved me so much money this year, because especially on Saturday, because the way things work here in Germany is when the shops, none of the shops open on a Sunday. Sunday is rest day. So you're not even allowed to make noise on Sundays, where you're not allowed to mow your lawn or vacuum your house. You can actually get, you could have the police show up at your house if you make too much noise on a Sunday. But that means that all the shops are closed on a Sunday. And therefore, if you do a Too Good To Go on a Saturday, all the shops that have stuff that's going to expire on Sunday and Saturday is like, okay, here, have twice as much as you want. So what I found is if I use my Too Good To Go's on a Saturday, I actually get even more stuff than normal. I am min-maxing my food collection. But yeah, because of the train, I was late today, so I do apologize for that. Dang, that's shit, living like a king. Hi, Lord Fjord, how you doing? How are you? Welcome back. Yeah, today is going to be a bit of a just chat stream combined with map making. So I have, we go here. I have this program called Wonderdraft, and it's a map making tool. And the way the screen share works is a little tricky right now. You can't see any of the tools, but this is my homeworld. This is Sorors. I will give you guys a rough tour of Sorors, but particularly for today, we're going to be focusing on this continent because I need to make a more detailed map of this continent. Each block is about 1,000 kilometers, or no, 5. Yeah, each square is 1,000 kilometers. So as you can imagine, this is a bit of a big world. This is it's actually slightly larger than Earth. When I ran the math, when I counted every single block that goes across. Oops, just a second. Here we go. Yeah, I actually counted the number of blocks going across the screen, and yeah, it is about, it's like one extra block longer than Earth. But I don't think Earth is as tall. I mean, I think Earth is taller. So yeah, I tried my best. I tried my best for geological stuff. Oh yeah, I'm super interested in getting this app for myself once I get a new PC. Rest in peace, my poor laptop. Yeah, I found that this app is not that intense. Let me have a quick look at the task manager. What is it using? Where are you, Wonderdraft? It is using 450 megabytes of RAM, so not that much RAM. And CPU is like, it's 0%. So yeah, it's actually pretty performant. It's not actually using up that much of my resources. So it's a great app. But I wanted to show you guys my world before we go into the details of that sort of thing. I'm getting this app next week. I need it for world building. Yeah, for $30 with no subscription, it's pretty good, I would say. Let me just grab some food as well. I literally haven't had dinner. I haven't eaten anything today except for some waffles I made this morning. I came home starving, like I was coughing from sprinting to the shops, and then I was like salivating, like drooling because I was so hungry. I burst into the kitchen. I burst into my apartment, turned on the computers, ran to the kitchen, dropped the shopping, grabbed a leftover waffle from this morning and just stuffed it down my throat. So yeah, that's me right now. But yes, thank you KJ for the snow wings. I greatly appreciate it. But yeah, Lord Fjord, how you doing? How's your weekend going? Why is everything just chaos about me, Jono? I can't help that, Seal. I have extreme luck. It works in both directions. Like, I have extreme good luck and extreme bad luck. But, let's see here. You know what? Okay, so I'll give you a brief rundown of this world right after I get some more music up, because I don't want to have the music looping over and over. We'll put this one for now while I grab some stuff. You know, I now have 150 gigabytes of background music for my TTRPG. 150 gigs worth of RPG music, essentially. Like, it's amazing. I'm very happy with that. I think it cost me all in all, about $40 for all of the different Humble Bundle stuff for the background music. But yeah, I've got tons of music, which makes me very happy. This is my own custom song, though. This was do you guys want to hear the actual lyric version of this one? Hold up. Wait, audio. Okay, no, this is under my brand stuff. Branding, music. Because I commissioned original music for my channel. I have several. I have like an album and a bit. Let's see. We'll go with this one. Okay, hold up. We will pause it. Let's see if I can find the original. Where is it? I think it was called What Is This Feeling? I think this was for Arista. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, I have a character in my sorry, I have a character, the Arista girl from the opening video, the blue head girl, and I had a voice actress make a whole bunch of lines. I have wait. There we go. I had a voice actress. I can't get into contact with her anymore. But yeah, she talks throughout. I have a whole bunch of voice lines. So I gave those voice lines to Apple, the musician who made this song. And yeah, he remixed all of her voice lines into this song. Thankwell, hello. How you doing? Okay, let's see. What can I do here? Yeah, I'm just going to chat about my world and we'll do some map making and stuff. So it's going to be a nice chill stream today. Let's see. Art. I do love Apple's music, though. I still do. Arista, here we go. So I will quickly grab it on screen. So this was the original Arista. This is Arista's original design. She was drawn by Fruits Rabbits, the same artist who did the live 2D for this model. So same artist did this model. So this is Arista. She's so cute. Oh. Okay, grab that. Here's the original concept art for Arista. Yeah, she's actually going to show up in my TTRPG coming up in the... So I'm 3 sessions ahead. So you guys are going to be a bit far behind, but I'm not going to give any spoilers, obviously. There's also an animation I have for her as well here somewhere. Just a sec. I'm sure I can find it. Arista animation. Ah, here we go. Okay, that's not good. Wait, try this one. So this person did a speed paint of him. Wait. Come on, I gotta shrink it down, otherwise you guys can't see. Also, that's gonna get me copyright struck because he used copyright music when he made this time lapse. Here we go. So if I put it like that. So this person actually went ahead and animated the whole of Arista. I'll just skip to the end so you guys can see the looping animation. There we go. So he actually made it come to life, which was so cool. So cool. Okay, can I grab you across there? And we will... You know what? I'm gonna put on my album. Where is it? Music Apple, and then we'll just put on all 11 tracks. There we go. Let me know if it's too loud or too quiet. Good, you baked cookies and you're pretty well. Nice. I survived the Wolf Sus song, so hit it. True, Tears' new song came out and it's really catchy. Very catchy indeed. Bro, Sims 3 game takes up a lot of space. I heard Sims 4 is also a bit of a monster at that as well. Okay, so the TTRPG. We have players. Come on. We have players that come from here, and this island, and under the water over here. It might be a bit more difficult to show you. So what I'll do instead is I'll just open up their own zones. So if we go... Oh yeah, let me show you the world ocean map as well. Hold on. So because I have species that live underwater, I also had to create an ocean floor map for my world. So there's an above, there's a land map, and then there's an ocean map. So for example, this dark region over here is one of the abyssal empires. The dark region down here is also one of the abyssal, is a different abyssal empire to the south. So the abyssal kind of prefer the darkest parts of the world. I mean, there's also over here on this side as well, but this is a little more complicated to explain. But let's just say this island over here in the middle, that's where humanity is. Humanity lives on this little island over here. And don't worry, you guys will one day get a story of what the humans are up to over there. But yeah, let's open. Okay, let's go back to the main world map. So this is the Sorors world map. This continent over here is called Verdantia, I believe. Yes, Verdantia. Okay. So this, I only realized afterwards, but it's got a kind of a fox shape. If you consider that an ear and that an ear, like these two are the ears, and then it's got like a, not intentional, but yeah, this central continent is called Verdantia because it is the most green. This is the celestial den where the kitsune have dominance over this island. Like they don't let anyone in and they don't go out. So the kitsune can only be found on the celestial den. However, it's huge. Remember, each block is 1,000 kilometers. So it's about 2.5. Almost, yeah, actually it's almost 3,000 kilometers tall. So it's way bigger than Japan. So even though there might be some similarities between Soros and Earth, I want there to be similarities, but kind of like a twisted reflection, right? Where it's not a one-to-one mirror, but they're twins. They're twin worlds. So there's going to be similarities, but also significant differences. So yeah, but this essentially is the Kitsune's island, the Celestial Den. And then this continent, which we're going to be working on tonight, is called Tarnithia. And it shouldn't be this green. It should actually be more like, it's going to sound strange, but more pinks and purples. Remember, this is a world overflowing with magic, and I want the forests on this continent to actually have a sort of pink and purplish hue to it. So there is a reason behind it, but I don't want to go into too much spoilers. But yeah, I need a full book on this because you can't spell names. Don't worry, I have you covered. Well, bam. I've been making these for my players. So this is the northeast of Verdantia. Let me just quickly go back to the whole world again so you can see. So over here, this section that you can see right now, we're going to be zooming in. We're going to be zooming in over here. Okay. So open this one. There we go. So I traced my big map onto the zoomed in version, and each square over here is 250 kilometers. So 4 of these blocks is one of the big blocks from before. That's basically how I'm doing it. I need a full book because you can't spell the names. Don't worry. I'll give you guys a brief rundown of this map. Why not? So we have over here, we have a Fey circle called Fairweather, and that's where Telephone Sound's character comes from. There's a Thrope port city called Pearlstrand that's actually quite close to it. There are 3 Thrope kingdoms. So this yellow line that you see over here is a kingdom. So there's a Thrope kingdom to the north of this river, and there's a Thrope kingdom to the south of it. And then there's another Thrope kingdom down here. So we have basically the cat Thropes to the north, and then we have the dog Thropes to the south, the middle and south. Sorry for the coughing. Let's see. Over here in this more green spot of the world, 200 kilometers per square. Oof. Yeah, it's a huge world. Like I could probably zoom in this far and draw another map inside of it. These are only the biggest landmarks. So Queen's Rest is one of the, well, it is the biggest Fey circle in the world. So this is essentially the Fey's sort of capital city. It's the biggest Fey circle. There is an elf city that's right next to it, but I haven't given it a name yet. So there are a couple of elf cities here, and there as well, but I haven't named them. Wistrel is another Fey circle, which is where Telephone Sounds was born, but their character actually moved to Fairweather, which is a much smaller circle over there. Okay, let's see. Fey Jono when. That is on my list, but that means I have to have either butterfly wings or moths. Would you guys like a preview of one of the characters? Hold on. I'm going to make sure that I do this properly because I don't want to make any spoilers. Hold on. Art. Where is it? Characters. Here we go. So this is going to be Telephone Sounds character. And they are a Fae with moth wings. So they have like silver moth wings. Oh. Okay. And this is official art, by the way. Look how cute she is. So this is a Telephone Sounds character. So very cute. Very, very cute. And she's tiny. Like the character is tiny, tiny, tiny. About the size of your hand. So Telephone's character most often sits on people's shoulders. And when characters need to shake hands with her, they usually offer their baby finger, which she grabs with her whole hand. It's so cute. Yes, if we if we get a Jono Fae model, I will have to get butterfly wings. They'll probably be blue because the way I'm trying to make the Fae is like a match between the eyes and the wings, but that's not always the case. This is not a hard, fast rule. I just like the idea. So I'd probably have teal colored eyes. Okay. So then over here, this one is really cool. The Crowlarian range. The Crowlarian range is a bit complicated because underneath this mountain range, there is a dwarf city called Ironhome right underneath the mountain. But above the mountain, there is Neva, which stands for Northeast Verdantia Aviary or Academy. So the Northeast Verdantia Academy, essentially a Seraph tower. So there's a Seraph population that lives on top of the mountain and dwarves that live underneath it. And as you can imagine, neither are too particularly pleased with having the other so close to each other. But since one likes to be underground and the other likes to be at the top of the skies, they don't really have much quarrel yet. The dwarves build their homes, build their cities along ley lines, which are essentially natural rivers of spirits. Now that one's going to require some explaining to do, but throughout the world, wild spirits will be naturally flowing and traveling. And when enough of those spirits gather together and travel together, it creates sort of like a river, which is called a ley line. And dwarven magic is a rune system where it's similar to how circuitry on electronics controls electricity. They use runes to control the flow of wild spirits. So dwarven technology, dwarven magic, only works in areas where there's a lot of wild spirits, which means that the most reliable place to have dwarven technology is along ley lines, which is why the dwarves always build cities along these ley lines, because then they guarantee that their cities will be powered and will run efficiently. Dwarvens run magic. Oh yeah, they carve their rune systems, and then essentially the wild spirits that are naturally traveling through the air will be funneled through those runes to create various phenomena and effects. But again, it's incredibly unpredictable if you try to use dwarven technology outside of the ley lines, because you never know when you're going to be in a room without any spirits, which then turns your runes into being useless, right? Unless you can find a way to fuel it with your own spirits, then you might be able to use it, but it'll be very exhausting. So, okay, let's see, what else can I tell you about here? These fortifications are basically the Thrope castles, because they like building castles. The Thrope are sort of... How can I describe it? They're kind of at the Victorian era. So they are a naval... They're post-medieval, but they're not at the industrial age yet. So they have farmlands, and they have castles, and they have boats, and they have gunpowder. So the Thrope can use pistols and like muskets, like old school guns. Nothing modern. So think 1800s kind of weaponry. Wait, I think there is a name to that era. Yeah, it's a Victorian era is kind of where I'm aiming for with the Thrope. Kind of like steampunk. Yes. That's a fun thing you brought that up. So steampunk is kind of the technological ceiling in Sorors, because there's so many spirits. All the spirits of Earth were ripped out and sent to Sorors. So what that means is that the world is overflowing with spirits, that a world was never meant to have this many spirits inside of it. So electricity doesn't behave reliably. And as you can imagine, computers are incredibly sensitive to fluctuations in electricity. Imagine trying to build a binary system where every now and then a binary will just randomly flip its number. So essentially, high-level technology is not really feasible. However, there are loads and loads of magic systems. Because there's an abundance of magic and an abundance of spirits, that magical development is definitely far greater than here on Earth, because we don't have magic anymore. But computers are not really a thing. Like they probably won't ever be a thing. If there was anything close enough to a computer in Sorors, it would have to be dwarven technology, essentially. So technology is mostly impossible, but not science. Oh no, there's definitely experimentation and stuff going on. It's just that the electricity in particular, the flow of energy, because that's what electricity is. The electricity is a transfer of electrons between states. Because there are so many spirits messing around with the fabric of reality, that the transfer of electrons is not consistent, which makes advanced or advanced technology much more difficult and or impossible. Okay, let me show you another thing here. I'm just giving you guys a tour before we start building stuff as well. Let's go to the Celestial Den. Okay, so you remember I said that there was a Kitsune world, a Kitsune island? Again, this is the same. Every square is 250 kilometers. We have... There are about 14 major clans. There are three top clans. So essentially 3 emperor level houses. And beneath those houses, you have I think it was the Kenja and then the Ryoma. Or was it the other way around? Was it the Ryoma and then the Kenja? I have to check my notes. But you have a top level house, and then underneath that you have a second level, and underneath that you have a third level, and then a whole bunch of smaller families under that wouldn't really be considered clans. And essentially the third level, there are groups of third levels that have pledged allegiance to the second level, and then groups of the second levels that have pledged to the first level. And then there are 3 first level houses. So imagine 3 pyramid structures. That's how the power structure in the Celestial Den has been split up. So there's a sort of a north, middle, and southern power struggle going on. The capital city is in the middle. And because of this huge lake, like this is an absolutely monstrous lake. We're talking almost 500 kilometers across. So yeah, there's a big lake in the middle of it. This is actually an ocean thing. So not please don't make silver-haired fox person, because Sin and I would go wild keck. There probably are several of them. So that's the clan structure. The Celestial Den has shut itself off from the rest of Sorors. So for the past few thousand years, they haven't allowed many outsiders in, and Kitsune are not really allowed to leave either. However, that means that the island is constantly on the edge of civil wars. You know, there's constant strife because of the whole clan pledging allegiance type thing. So there's a lot of infighting that happens on the Celestial Den, because the Kitsune are unique in the sense that they can actually steal tails from each other. because the kitsune require more tails to not only boost their own sort of magical capacity and conductivity, but also when they reach certain number of tails, unlocks new abilities. So a level 1, not level 1, a kitsune with 1 tail has the most basic of all abilities, which is to disguise themselves, so they can change their appearance. A kitsune with 5 tails, a kitsune with 3 tails unlocks Foxfire, so they can generate blue azure flame. So you can imagine when you get 3 tails, that enables your combat power to sort of spike, because now you can generate fire. At 5 tails, you gain the ability to cloud step, which essentially pulls you towards the nearest cloud, and then you can jump between clouds. And then once you, if you miss a cloud, or if there are no more clouds, you will gracefully fall down. However, the magic only affects your physical body. So any clothes or equipment you're carrying still is as heavy. Your body becomes lighter, but everything you're carrying, anything and anyone you're carrying it's still the same weight. So, you know, you can't exactly transport huge amounts of stuff, but it is very useful if you're wearing like light clothes to be able to travel vast distances very quickly. At 7 tails, what do they unlock at 7 tails? Hold on. It's been a while since I looked at the kitsune's 7 tail spec. Let's see. Modern form. Foxfire, Cloudwalk. Oh, okay, never mind. After 5 tails, they only get their next ability at 9 tails, and I'm not telling you what that is. I was going to give one for a 7th tail, but then I thought I was favoring them too much, like too many abilities for them. Nerfed version of Uraraka's quirk. Uraraka? No. Getting essentially, if a kitsune tries to possess more than 9 tails, it literally drives them insane. It drives them crazy. It's too much power for a single being. That'll give you a clue. It's too much power for a mortal creature. There are gods in my world. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Since we're geeking out over the seal, I will tell you a little story. So we'll be right back. No, we're gonna stay right here, Ariston. So on the island, I mentioned that there is a clan structure and powers going on here. Oh, thankfully, yes, they transform into the 9-tailed fox. No. Thankfully, the kitsune don't revert into their primal forms. The thrope do. The thrope on a full moon are forcibly changed into their primal forms. So as you can imagine, that's terrifying. And why nobody lives in a thrope village except for thrope. Nope, if you're a non-thrope, don't live in a thrope village. I did it because Jono is a fool, and he was able to be accepted by the village before the first full moon. So the entire thrope village was used to my scent, but yes. Don't try to move into a thrope village unless you're very confident that you'll be accepted, because otherwise you're going to deal with a bunch of giant wolves every 30 days. For the cat thropes, they're basically panthers. They're leopards and panthers. So yeah, you really don't want a dire wolf or a giant leopard, saber-toothed tiger-sized leopard. Tyr, there are 2 wolves inside of me. Okay, so getting back to the story I want to tell you, Seal. On the Celestial Den, there are the 3 main families, and then all of the Kenja and Ryoma who serve them underneath that. However, there is another organization, which... Oh, man, I need to find my notes. This is important. Cultural elements. Here we go. Their religious system is strongly centered around the moon. Okay, Yuiko. The Yuiko shrines are essentially moon shrines. Their religion is called Yuiko, which they have set up these shrines all along the coastline. And these shrines are creating a barrier that protects the island from the influence of the Abyssal. Because the Abyssal are in a cold war with the Kitsune species, with the Celestial Den. And this is why. So there is a... Okay, hold on. I don't like the song for this. Different song? Okay, there we go. So their religious system is strongly centered around the moon, as it was believed that the first god of the moon, Selendor, fell in love with a nine-tailed kitsune for whom he gave up his title. When he did this, the moon shattered, becoming a ring around Sorors, where a new moon formed for his beloved, Lunara, who became the new goddess of the moon, inheriting his station and power. Selendor still retained enough power to become the new god of love, and it is said that he lives happily with Lunara on her moon, where the two of them watch the world below. So that's a cute little love story, and that's the kitsune's interpretation of what happened. They believe that the new moon, because there is a ring around Sorors and a moon. So there was one moon that shattered and a second moon that is still in place. And the kitsune believed the story that the first god of the moon loved the kitsune so much that he literally gave up his godhood to make her into a god, so she would lose her mortality and could live forever with him. And because he still retained enough power, he became the god of love instead, and he lives on the moon with her. So that... Oh, interesting. I'll mention the Abyssal in a moment. But yes, the way that the way that I don't want to spoil too much about the gods, but I mentioned earlier in a previous stream about how the spirits are created from your soul, from every living creature's soul. All of the emotions and feelings you have is outputting spirits. While your spirits are within you and around you, they are yours. Once they leave your body and go beyond your sort of control, then they become wild spirits. And wild spirits travel through the world and form into ley lines and stuff like that. So wild spirits are essentially all the emotions and feelings that everything is experiencing. And these spirits will seek out the objects of the reason behind why they were created. So as you can imagine, celestial entities like the sun and the moon generate a lot of spiritual attraction because the moon is important to a lot of things in this world. So the god of the moon, Selendor, the first god of the moon, was a very powerful god because a lot of creatures in the world have a connection. For example, all the Thrope have a very strong connection to the moon. So the Thrope are, in a sense, sort of empowering the god of the moon, which, according to the Kitsune legend, was Selendor, who gave up his title of godhood. But as I mentioned, he had so much power that even after losing his title as the god of the moon, he still had enough power to retain like a status as godhood, which is why he became the god of love instead, because he sacrificed his godhood in order to uplift a nine-tailed kitsune. The way you built around souls and spirits is really interesting. Yep, that's my power system. I'm very happy with it because all of the other magic systems are built on top of this soul spirits foundation. So there are a lot of magic systems. Okay, so the Abyssal. Let me open up the ocean map here for a second. So remember we were over here on the northeast of Verdantia. And if I just open up the world map. So you guys have had a look over here on the northeast of Verdantia and the Celestial Den over here. We're now going to go up to here so that you guys can see underwater for the Abyssal. Because Lael is playing as an Abyssal. So, whoops, wrong one. Here we go. So this down here is the very north part of the Celestial Den with the Kitsune. And over here is where Northeast Verdantia, where Teller is from as well. So these are the underwater cities of the Abyssal. So Nithralis is the capital city of this empire, because there's a northern Abyssal empire and a southern. So the Abyssal are sort of the Cthulhu species of my world. They are sort of octopi and squid based. So they have deep blues and greens skin, and they usually have tentacles on their head, which can either form on their face or as pseudo dreadlocks. So in Lael's case, her character has eight tentacles from their head, which sort of forms their hair instead. And these are appendages, so they can actually wield them individually. So Lael's character is a grappling monster. Like, anyone who comes close to their character can be grappled by the tentacles of many targets. Davy Jones beard, yeah. So some might have a beard, some might be more... because remember, humanity was a curse. All of my species were cursed with human form. So it's not perfect, and it's not consistent. So the way in which how the abyssal will appear can vary quite dramatically. It's also why any of my species can come in any like sort of skin tone and hair color as well. So there is that's what I really wanted for my fantasy world as well, is I wanted to create a world where anybody could create themselves as any one of my species. So by using the curse of humanity, I sort of can negate the sort of evolutionary arguments of actual humans, because humans were forcibly imprinted onto the other species. So yeah, fun times, huh? The Kraken, yes. So the abyssal, they can use a song. One of their abilities is to sing and drive the target insane. So they can slowly induce madness in those who listen to their song, and the effects can be subtle or huge depending on how much spirits they want to channel into it, and obviously the resistance and willpower of the other person. So scariest sirens, they share similarities with the Mer. The Mer also have their own vocal abilities as well. So the abyssal and the sirens get along the abyssal and the Mer get along very, very well. So fun thing about the abyssal is that their political system is also super complicated, kind of like the Kitsune as well. And Nethralis is sort of the Empress, the Empire family, the Emperor-Empress family. However, the other cities have joint leaderships. So there will be 2 lord or ladies houses in each main city, and the name of the city is split between each house. So the House of Thal and the House of Azath, those are the 2 leaders of this city. So together, the houses working together, it becomes Thal Azath is the name of this city. But it keeps the power, it keeps the 2 houses sort of at each other's throats so that they don't threaten the main family, which controls the empire in the north. So over here, we have the House of Ver and the House of Ghoul. So Ver Ghoul is this city, this underwater city, and these will be 2 houses. Now, some might get along, like Thal and Azath, those 2 families tend to get along better. However, Ver and Ghoul are at each other's throats and constantly trying to backstab each other. So the situation in this city is a bit more intense, whereas over here they're a bit more under control. It might also be because they're quite close to Nelrathis as well. So Eldra is a sort of minor city. So major city, minor city. This symbol over here basically means that they have a military presence as well. So Eldra is more of a civilian city, whereas Thal Azath is a military base, so military city. Same thing for up here with the Mer. So Meyer is again a civilian city, so there's only 1 house ruling Meyer, but here's another military base, so 2 families. Ooh, like Dutches. Exactly. Mer Jono when? Eventually. I promised Nick and Tyr that I'd get a Mer Jono with my 10,000 subscribers. So yeah, this is the Northern Empire for the Abyssal. They also have 1 more civilian city up here called Oscar as well. These are 3 islands, which are run by the Key. It's spelled Q-U-Y, and they're based, the Key is based on the Vietnamese legend, the Vietnamese mythological creature of the turtle who gifted a golden sword to one of the Vietnamese emperors. So in my world, the interpretation of the Key is that they were turtles, and they have metallic scutes, which is the sort of shells, which are they are attached to their back telepathically. So they have these metal armor plates that are floating behind them. However, as they grow and mature, they will be able to control them, more of them. So when they start off young, they might not be able to control any of them. But as they start to grow and develop, they'll start to be able to telepathically control more and more of their 13 scoots. And these scoots are, each scoot is a reflection of an emotional aspect of that individual. So there will be a scoot for love, one for hate, one for compassion, one for envy, etc., etc. So as they start to mature as an individual, they will gain control over their emotions, which will unlock those scoots. Now, this is the really cool part for the Kui. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. No, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. You can interpret it that way. But this is the cool thing about the scoots. So I mentioned that the dwarves are sort of the crafting race. You know, they make their technology based off their runes. The Kui are also a crafting race in the sense that they also are incredible forgers and creators of metal tools. However, they are complete opposites to the dwarves when it comes to their magic system, because the dwarves use their runes as a sort of hard magic system where it's almost like programming, coding, computer coding, using the runes. However, the Kui, when they forge a tool or an equipment, they can take one of their scoots if they're mature enough to control that scoot, and when they hammer it, they actually put the scoot between the metal of whatever it is they're forging and their hammer, so that when they hammer the scoot, the energy is transferred across to the whatever it is they're forging, and the spirits that reside within that scoot are impacted onto whatever it is they're crafting. And remember, each scoot is based on one of their emotional aspects. So, for example, take the hate scoot. If they were making a sword or a weapon, a Kui forge, a Kui smith could use their hate scoot to imbue emotional hatred into the edge of the blade. So it's a very emotional, it's a very subjective, it's a very artsy way of empowering magic into an object. Whereas the dwarves are like, oh hell no, we will craft runes and we will make this reliable because we know it either works or it doesn't. Whereas with Kui weapons, you never know what could happen. You know, you pick it up and like you use it, and if it was if it was forged with a specific emotion in mind when it was forged, it might do very different things depending on who it is that you're cutting. But master key smiths, so when the Kui, if they reach emotional maturity as well as skill with the forge, they can layer multiple scoots on top of each other when they make the impacts. So you could combine, for example, love and hate and envy, so that when they whack their hammer on top of all three of those scoots onto whatever it is they're forging, creates a very complex emotion that's imbued into whatever tool it was that they were making. So cue the birth of cursed weapons. Yeah. So Kui magic is very chaotic, but very cool. I'm very excited about that. My players haven't met the Kui yet, but I brought them up because they have some islands over here, so they do some trading with the Abyssal, and they also live over here on this side. So okay. I think it's time that we actually make a new map. So hold on. Let's see. We're going to say new. Yes, I want a long one. So we'll go with this. Hold up. And we're going to save this as Tarnithia. Okay, now I need to import an overlay so that we can get a better sense of things. Where is it? Select an image. Okay. Just give me a moment while I quickly find it. World map. There it is. So what I want to do is enhance. I'm bringing in my world map from before. And that seems to be about the limit for what I can do. Yeah, that seems to be the limit. Okay, there we go. So next, what we need to do is we need to create a grid scale. So give me square grids, and then we need to line them up. Let's zoom in. And we'll go down here because my goal is I want to be able to fit 4 of them inside of here. So 1, 2, 3. Nope, too small. 1, 2. Nope, too small. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that's almost there. That's almost there. Maybe if I go. No. 69. Give me 69. 69. Please fit. Perfect. Oh, man. Okay, no. I was going to say it's perfect, but I think we need to go to 70. 70. Yep, 70. Okay, it was 70. There we go. So I've got 4 grids inside one of the big grids. So I can, this is now a 250 kilometer grid. So we can save that. So let's bring in the measuring stick. We want 4 segments. Each one is 250 kilometers. Font color is fine. Colors, I want this one, and this one. And create. So now I've got to match this up. Also, I don't like that yellow. Much better, much better. Okay, I got to match this this scale up now. So width. No, not line width. This one. Here we go. Line that up right in the middle. And we're almost there. So if I... Perfect. Okay. I can pull this up here now. Okay. And if we reduce the opacity of this one, it looks perfect. Yes. Also, let's change the texture paper. Vintage one could be cool. Okay. For now, let's just stick with paper, and we'll change it. We'll change it after we've traced it, because what I've got to do now is bring it back. And I have to recreate the land on this map. So let's go land, paintbrush. And why is it? So you can see that land is formed over there. So, okay. Land, paintbrush. And I'm just going to do a very rough paint around that. And then I'll zoom in and sort of trace the edges. Okay, zoom in. And okay, now I'm using a tool over here which will sort of create scuffed edges, as you can see. So I want that tool to be about this big, and then I have to trace everything. And this way, everything in the world is map accurate. You know, everything is to the same scale, if that makes sense. If I join the lands over here, you'll see that they become one. Ta-da! So if I just switch back to this one. This is a lake over here, so I will clean that up later. But this is essentially how I go about making my world. I use the sort of randomizer to create sort of scuffed edges, and then I then connect them to. Seal. Oh wait, Quippers. Welcome, Quippers. How you doing? How are you? Yeah, I just spent the past hour blabbering about my world again instead of doing work. So I feel a bit guilty and I should be getting back to work. So here we are making a new map. Every square that you see over here is 250 kilometers. So as you can imagine, my homeworld is a big place. Very big place. But I mean, we got 22 magical species and more counting. Like, I need to rework the vampires, to be honest. I'm not happy with the vampires. I also deleted the demons. Like, the demons, they were going to be their own species. So we have devils and demons. But I came up with a much cooler idea. So the demons are no longer going to be their own species. I had this amazing idea for them, though. I wanted the demons to be a kind of a fallen species where the devils corrupted them completely. So they lost their sentience or their sapience. So the demons were once their own sort of their own civilization, but they were tricked even more than the humans in Sorors. But I'm retconning that. Well, you can't really retcon it if it never, like, if I never put it into print yet. It's not a retcon, but it was something I was playing with. I might make a new species that's impacted like that, but the demons are going to be a sort of important part of the TTRPG story. So I have come up with an amazing idea for them. Ooh, fallen species corrupted by the devils. Yeah, I will admit, the devils are definitely a great source of problems. That's me being nice. That's me being nice. The devils have a great way of just causing headaches for everyone else. But I also don't want to make the world feel generic in the sense that all the problems just come from one species, because that would be lame. So my even though I'm using the devils here, and the first book I want to publish is actually going to be Zenai's backstory. So you guys will be able to learn about Zenai. Not every story is going to have the devils being the main antagonist. So again, the devils are fun to play with. You know, it's fun to be bad kind of thing. But at the same time, I also want some more nuance and such. Because if all of your villains are just power crazed, then that's kind of boring, right? That's kind of lame. I finished watching Arcane Season 2 today. And I felt that Season 1 was more powerful, even though the stakes were less. You know, it wasn't like end of the world. But the emotional stakes were far greater in Season 1. You know, it was all about the conflict of the family, right? So for me, emotional stakes are more impactful to us because I think just as human beings, we tend to resonate more with smaller scale conflict, right? Our brains are not really designed to handle big numbers. So when it comes to the end of the world, our brains are just kind of tune out a little bit, where it just goes, okay then, it's too big for me to care about anyway. You know? Whereas watching a story of two siblings trying to kill each other because they may have caused the death of someone close to them, that has much more like resonance with a viewer. So as fun as it is to have the devils be bad guys, I also want more emotional nuance in some of the stories. I mean, I'm always going to add emotional nuance, but you know, the devils are a great fun source of being a bad guy. Anyway, how's this coming along? There we go. We've almost traced the entire coastline, and then I can just go in and because this makes it a 1-to-1 scale, which is nice. And hopefully my players will be on this continent for a long time. Because I would be very sad if we spend tonight making this And then my players decide, you know what? We actually want to go back. Because that's the biggest pain point for any DM is trying to herd your players. Because you could plan out the most amazing story in the world, and then your players decide that they're going to open up a restaurant instead. Next thing you know, you're role-playing Overcooked. So, yeah. I have a great campaign planned out now. I've got a main story. And my players are on... Essentially... They finished Act 1. So they've had their prologue sessions each. And... Oh, wrong one. They've had their prologue sessions each. And 3 sessions together. So for you guys, that's a total of 7 episodes. Which means I have 7 videos to edit. I've already done 2 of them. So that's at least 2 weeks of content. But yeah, my goal is once I start releasing them, I want to release 1 episode a week. So that gives me basically a month buffer between when I play a session and when you guys will get to watch it. That's what I'm hoping for. Because you guys are members of my channel and I want to reward you guys for being members, right? So members will get a 1 week early access. And memberships is just $1 a month. Like, I really want to provide at least $1 of entertainment value to you guys. Right? I think I can do that. Okay, we traced it. Woohoo! If I turn this off right now, this would look like the wonkiest island. Wait, let's have a quick look. Wait. Turn off the overlay. What a wonky island. Okay, landmass. Paintbrush. But now we can just go in and fill in all the pieces. There is no fill bucket, unfortunately, but you can make the brush as big as you want. So I can go out here and just make the brush like this big and just... Bring that down there. Bam. Okay. Also, if you guys want me to change up the music at any point, just let me know. Oh, right. I can tell you something cool. Oh, Raged. Welcome. Never trust new players. Oh, Raged. I have something I want to tell you. So, I have a friend, Nick Nitro, and he wants to do a campaign, but he wants to have a 2-player campaign. So just him and a friend of his. And I said to them, which campaign would you like? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I can run any system in any franchise that you want. So if you have a dream campaign, I can do it. And he's like, oh, I have no idea then. And I said, well, I've run a Naruto campaign once before. And I said, I still have a friend who talks to me about that Naruto campaign. And he's like, dude, could we actually do a Naruto campaign? And I said, yes, I can. So Rage, I have a favor to ask of you. Would you be like a one-time guest with your old character? So one day, like when I get that campaign up and running, that you come back as like an enemy ninja for a single session. Like you're like a guest show up and you bring back your character from 10 years ago. How amazing would that be? That would be so cool because I know that you are from the Grass Village, but I'm going to be running this campaign from the Leaf Village for Nick and Rita. So 100% in. Let's go. Let's go. Obviously, we can't tell Nick, but I really want that to be this surprise. Because I love, you know me, Raged. I love giving my players unforgettable moments and memories of campaigns. And I have a sci-fi campaign I do want to run maybe next year, or maybe later in 2025 with Sauron and Tyr, where it's going to be a sci-fi mech universe. So, Rage, if you're interested in a sci-fi mech universe, I will have a spot at the table saved for you. The Naruto one is just going to be the 2 players because Nick requested just the 2 players. But if you're interested in piloting a mech suit in one of my RPs, I will reserve a spot for you. Right now, it's business casual Sauron and tier, but yep, you know, I like to have roughly 4 players, 3 to 4 players. Any more than that, and it becomes a little bit tricky to balance everyone because otherwise certain people will talk over others. But all right, who's snitching Nick? But just to give an example, I had this vision in my head for the mech, the mech sci-fi story where my player group is surrounded at all sides, and just when all hope seems lost, a whole bunch of people joins the Discord call, and they're a support team that I've organized behind the scenes that comes airdropping in from atmosphere. So an atmospheric drop right onto the main player group. So we have like 10 real human players dropping in to save the group. I really want to pull something off like that, where it's just like all hope is lost, but then you hear something on the radio, and then I message the other group, and I'm just like, everybody join the call right now. Cling, 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 cling. That would be so cool. Like core memory unlocked. Where it's like, howdy boys, you heard you called for backup. I want to do cool stuff like that for my players. No, that'll shock players so much, right? I'm not gonna say when I do that, but that was just the kind of ideas that I have for my types of campaigns. The power of friendship, yeah. Boom. The problem with that many players is indecisiveness in battles and taking turns. Yeah, exactly. So it's just oh, my doorbell rang. Just a second. I'll be right back. Oh, my neighbors are so sweet. My neighbors collected a package for me while I was stuck at the trains. So, yeah, I just got a package that was delivered. Hold up, I just want to rip it open. Oh, that was really nice of them. I'm also concerned because I wasn't supposed to get a package today. I ripped the box open with my teeth. Come on, there. Aha! Whoa! It's a storage set for my fridge, so I can store more stuff in my fridge. Oh, that was really sweet. That was really sweet of them. They didn't have to do that, but they did. What I'll do is I'll probably bake them a cake and give it to them as thanks. Yep, I'll bake them a cake. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we do this like once a year. I bake something for my neighbors and I give it to them, and then like a few months later they come up and give me something. I think both of us are very shy. But at the same time, they've never complained about the noise from my streams. So I always wonder, I'm like, can they hear me? You know, because I don't want to be that upstairs neighbor, right? So every now and then I'll just bake a cake, or if I have like extra muffins, I'll give it to them. Okay, hold on, trace that. So when do you want to run the mech campaign? It would have to be next year. So let's see, I'm traveling February, so the earliest would have to be mid-March. Yeah, mid-March would be the absolute earliest, but I don't want to overload myself, because it's very easy for me to say, yes, I want to do all these things, and then freak out because I don't have time to do all of them, right? And then everybody has a less than ideal experience. So yeah, I'm putting all my time and energy right now into this campaign, the Sorors campaign, but I'm going to be spinning up the Naruto one probably the beginning of next year. And then like maybe a few months after that, I can also spin up the mech one, because by then I'll have everything in place, because As you can see, well, you know, Rage, you know how much energy I put into my campaigns. I handmade every single one of your mission scrolls. I soaked those paper in tea, and I encoded all of them by writing vertically. I still think back to the time where everybody at the table was trying to read those mission scrolls, and everybody sounded like toddlers going like, you have to go. Chat, for context, I wrote in plain English, but vertically. So the Y would be at the top, then the O would be underneath that, and then the U beneath that. So my players are trying to read it out loud by going, you have to. It still makes me laugh even after all these years. Oh no. Wait. Oh no, did I break? Oh no. We can fix this, chat. We can fix this. How bad is this? Wait, how bad is this? Okay, that's not... One more? There we go. Okay, I figured out what I did wrong there. I scrolled in with the wrong thing. Okay, we're gonna make this... You know what? We're going to go with water. Oh, never mind. Land, we're going to delete. Erase landmass? Okay, so we'll just erase that landmass and then we'll raise it back up. Okay, so we have a sort of a bridge that goes across there, which is kind of cool. We can say that the water flows underneath it. That could be fun. Okay. Let's see. I need to catch up on chat just a second. I missed out on a lot of your comments. Personally, I like the end of the world plot more. QSCP 5000. I need to read more SCP stuff. Never trust players. Yep. Unfortunately, you can't go there because the map maker had a sudden heart attack. That's more than $1, bruh. Tiny spot you missed is making me go, never mind, it's gone. I'm trying to figure out their name. It's actually Rage. Yes, Raged. It's Leet Speak. I still have yet to see anything of Nick Nitro, but he comes up quite a bit. Nick is a musician, so he makes, let's see. I think that was a shortcut. He makes music, so rock music, usually a lot of Undertale stuff. Like, some of his videos have millions of views. I think his channel has like 100 million views or something insane like that. Yeah, Nick is a full-time musician. Let's see. He's currently working on his own game though. That's where he's put all of his time and energy into it. When do you want to write it? Oh yeah, I'll answer that one. Forget it's the power of mech support. Take your time. That's so nice of them. Yep. Not the teeth. When do you guys want to run the mech campaign? Yep, the Doom runs. What kind of cake? Haven't decided yet. Hardcore AF. English and Chinese and Japanese style, bro. It's bad. For drawing with your mouse, it's very steady. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's start getting in the symbols so that I can then not have to have the overlay anymore. So we'll go up to mountain ranges. Come on, where's the mountain range? Here we go. So we got it roughly that big. Oh, too big, too big. We'll change up the style. I don't like that style. I can do that for over here though. We'll go with a big one up here and a small one over there. I like that it randomizes them. Okay, there we go. That's good. Sorry, I'm just concentrating on this. Okay, so these are the major mountains, and then there'll be smaller mountain ranges as I zoom in more. So, but this tool is very simple to use. I need to trace the water lines now. So let's go to the water tool, rivers. Actually, let's go to lakes. Where is the lake generator? Here is the lake tool. This one's going to be... No. Okay, the lake tool is going to be tricky. I might have to just paint it by hand. Jono energy is infectious. Am I? Yes. Here's a secret, Quippers. All emotions are infectious, both positive and negative. Have you ever been in a room with someone who's really sad? It's very hard to stay happy when you're in a room with someone who's very sad. The same thing with the opposite way. If you're feeling a little bit down, but you're in a room with somebody laughing, it's very hard to constantly stay down when like other people are happy around you as well. And, like, you have to really force yourself to be upset. Emotions are infectious. And that's the kind of tip with presenting. If you're excited about a topic, your body language and your tone of voice will change because you're excited, which makes the people listening also get excited. So it's pretty much why at the company I'm working at now, I'm pretty much doing all the presentations. Because I just have so much fun presenting and acting and such that, especially to clients, you know, I'm really like, okay, guys, we've come up with some really fun ideas and here they are. Ding, 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 ding. So the clients go, ooh, yeah, we like that one and we like that one, but how much would it be for that one? So, me, who gets even angrier when people are happy and noisy when I'm angry? I'm an SCP too. No, that's fair. That's fair. Like, I get that. It's when I'm angry, I reach a point where I can feel tears start to form in my eyes, not because I'm sad. It's just this weird thing where if I get really angry, I start to anger cry, like hate cry. And the thing is that makes me even more angry because I don't want people to misunderstand what emotion I'm going through. I'm like, don't cry right now. They're going to think that you're sad. No, you're angry. Which is probably why I'm very rarely ever so angry. I very rarely get super angry. The only times I get really angry is when something like when like a great injustice is done to me or my friends or family. So if somebody accuses me of something that I didn't do or hurts one of my friends, that was always a thing in high school. Like if somebody like physically bullied one of my friends, something would snap and I would just go into doomslayer mode. I once started a fight against 5 other guys because I saw them hitting one of my friends with a broom while they poured the paints on him in the classroom. Yeah, like I walked into the art room and Kenneth was being beaten with a broomstick and they were pouring the paints on top of him. And when they saw me, they started leaving the room and the doom music just started playing in my ears like da 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 da. I just rushed straight at them and kicked the guy over the ledge and he went sliding down the hill, which was all mud. So then the other 4 guys came in and started fighting me 1v4. But the thing is, the art room was my territory. So I knew all this. This was like entering into my zone. So the one guy jumped on my back trying to choke me out. And I ran backwards and slammed the 2 of us into the arts cabinet behind me. And then ran forward because I knew the arts cabinet had a weak leg because it was always wobbly. So as I went forward, the cabinet fell forward and landed on us. But because he was on my back trying to choke me out, the whole cabinet hit him in the back. So he was a cushion for me. So when the cabinet fell on us, he took the main hit of it and let go of me from shock, which then allowed me to continue fighting the 3 other guys. I did MMA back in high school for self-defense. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I kicked the table. Like, I literally put one foot up on the table and shoved the whole table towards the biggest guy in the group so that he would go, like, basically either having to, like, dive out of the way. That was after the cabinet fell on me, and there were the 3 guys, like, coming forward to try and, like, rush in as well. So I kicked the table to separate them, so then it was the 2 of them. In the end, though, no matter how good you are, numbers will always beat quality. So eventually they were able to hold me down, and the guy hit me in the face, but I got hit in the face all the time when I did MMA, so it it was actually weak compared to what my usual weekly training was. I don't know why I'm talking about this now, but fun fact, apparently when I was sent to the principal's office for that scuffle, he was bragging to the rest of the class about how much his hand was hurting, and that he was like, I wasn't going to come back to school because I would have a black eye from that. So when a friend told me what he was bragging to the rest of the class about that, I made sure that I went to school the very next day, because I didn't have any mark on my face from that. Like, not even the smallest, like, bruise. So I walked back into class, took my seat, and just shook my hand in the same way that he was the previous day that I was told that he was doing. So I'm just like, oh no, my hand hurts so much. The thing is, I'm a happy, kind person, but I will dish out whatever people give me. So if people are cheeky and rude to me, I will give it back just as much. Yeah, he kind of sunk into his chair. You know that when you just want to, like, sink into your chair and just fade out of existence? That was the kind of body language that I could read from that guy across the room. He was just like, oh god. So I'm just quickly eating some food. I haven't eaten all day, so I'm just grabbing some of this food while I'm here. Okay, let's get these lakes in. So don't worry about the rivers. I will do the rivers with the river tool, but I want to get the general shape of the lakes. So, because these are huge lakes. Yeah, the doing map work, it takes a while, but it's very cathartic. Like, I actually really enjoy doing this. It's also one of those things where, hold on. It's also one of those things where once you do it, you got to do it properly the first time, because it's very hard to sort of patch your world after release. You know, if I ever publish a book series on this and I include the maps in the book, you know, I can't really change it after that. So I have to put in a lot of thought. So even the ocean currents are being factored in with my world building right now. So, because it's a case of measure twice, cut once. You know, make sure your world is well thought out, and then you'll be happy. At least that's how I like to do it. Oh yeah, I never talked about why the Abyssal are at war with the Kitsune. So the Abyssal have a different interpretation of why the moon fell. And they essentially blame the Kitsune. They believe, because the Abyssal also are deeply connected to the moon, because of, you know, ocean species and all that. And oh, if you hear that weird sound, it's just the autosave kicking in, so that the map maker will save automatically every now and then. So the Abyssal have a different interpretation of why the first moon fell, and they also blame the Kitsune for that. And essentially, they believe that the first moon fell on the Celestial Den, or at least the main part of the moon fell on the Celestial Den. And essentially, they want it. So the island that the Kitsune live on, the Abyssal essentially believe that they are hiding something that is related to their god. So the Abyssal believe that the Kitsune are responsible for the death of their god. And they want whatever the Kitsune might be hiding from the falling of the first moon. That's a pretty justified on the Abyssal side. Exactly. Well, that's the problem, right? Is that both sides believe they are correct. And obviously when it comes to mythology and conflicts that lasts more than 1,000 years, things get very muddied and confusing as both sides exaggerate and demonize their opponents. So in the end, we don't know who is right. Is it the love story that the Kitsune have, or is it more sinister as the Abyssal believe? Are both right? Are both wrong? You know, these are the questions I love to toy with my world building. I like to keep the reader suspended. And just to make things even more complicated, my players, Key Red is playing as a Kitsune, and Lael is playing as an Abyssal. So I have two species which are in a religious war with each other in the same party. And I said to them when they made their selection, I said to Key and Lael, and I said, you guys are not allowed to be friends from day one. I want the two of you at each other's throats. And it's my job as the DM to put you in a scenario where the two of you are forced to work together. I said, as the main storyteller, it is my job to make sure that it's believable for the reader why the two of you would be working together. So, there is a lot of tension in the party still. And I like it. That's just how I want it. It's exactly how I like it. Give me the drama. Give me the tea. It's funny because everybody is so nice and wonderful in the group. And I told my players, I'm like, if you ever feel guilty about something you need to do while in RP mode, you can always say, out of character, I don't mean this, but shut the f up. You know, like if your one character has a disagreement with the other character, stay in character. But if you do like feel worried about it, you can say, out of character, I really don't mean this, but in character, shut the f. Obviously, there's been a couple of moments where we've had like some funny moments where my players have spoken in character. Not to that degree, but you know, I want there to be tension. I don't want everybody to be kumbaya, we're friends because the meta narrative requires us to be a party kind of thing. You know, I want my players to like have fights and conflicts with each other because then it makes everything feel more believable, right? It makes the friendship between Lael and Key's characters more believable when it's earned. They got to earn that friendship. And obviously me as the storyteller, I would want to reward them for that as well. I don't, with the system I'm currently using for this session, there isn't any level ups. Rather, I reward stats and skills based on how they're role playing. So the actions that they take actually determines the way that their characters are growing, because then it makes sense within the story, the confines of the story. But at the same time, to give player choice, I also give them a bonus choice which they can put elsewhere. So in the last session we had, I said to them, okay, everybody gets 1 point for their attribute where they'd like to spend it. However, I also have an extra point that I've decided for each character as well. And I'm like, okay, Gina, you really pushed your character hard physically, so I would like you to increase your stamina by 1. But you also get your extra point to spend wherever you would please as well. So my characters are growing in line with their actions of the story, but at the same time, they're also being shaped by the player's choices and they get a sense of control over how their characters are growing. So yeah, I'm very much making this a story-focused RP. It's less game and more story. And I will read chat in a second. Let me just finish tracing that. Lord Peas, welcome, Lord Peas. How you doing? Somewhere in an alternate universe, we can hear Jono screaming out, no, after finding the tiny mistake in his map in a book. Yeah, that would happen. That would happen. No. More along the lines of, okay, how can I make this mistake into a happy accident that enhances the story? Because I've done that. Where something unexpected happened, and I'm just like, okay, it's all according to cake. It's all according to plan. Man, the Death Note collab last night was so funny. It was so much fun. I believe Tier and everybody who played will want to do it again someday. Like, we want to have another collab because the mind games that went on was insane. Turns out VTubers are really good at lying. The mind, it's Among Us times 10 on just how much mind games happen in that Death Note game. Okay, we're almost done tracing this lake, and then I can use the river tool for everything else. This is actually one of my favorite songs that I commissioned. Hold up, let me turn it up a bit. You know, when I created this channel, it originally had like a coffee theme. Like, I wanted to be gaming and coffee, but I realized after a few years that that was a really stupid decision, because coffee is the most loved drink in the world, which means the SEO for my channel, the search engine optimization of my channel, is literally fighting every coffee brand and coffee shop in the world for search results. So when I made the switch to being a VTuber, I very much made a conscious effort to choose Jono Funk as its own unique brand. So Jono Funk dominates the search results. When you search for Jono Funk, you find me. You don't find random coffee shops. Little tip for anybody who's thinking of making their own channel. Think about the search results. Liar's Bar. Yeah, I actually recommended that to them before we started the Death Note game. I said, hey guys, if we have fun with this, we should try out Liar's Bar. And quite a few people are like, yes, let's do it. So definitely gonna add that to my list. You mean Jojo Funk? Yeah, I should try and dominate that search result as well, but Jojo is such a huge series. It's very unlikely. I'm very happy with the SEO of my channel at the moment. Like, you search for Jono Funk and all my stuff shows up. And I've tested this on different computers with different VPNs. And yeah, I always show up. I am the #1 result for Jono Funk. So that's good. Because I've seen it where some VTubers have picked generic names or names that are hard to spell, and then it's very difficult to find their channels. And that's an absolute shame, because you could have the best content in the world, but if nobody sees it, what's the point? Right? SEO is very underrated. Okay, this is a cool tool. I want to show you guys the river tool. So the way it works is you start where the river ends and you drag it out to where you want it to go, and it snakes out naturally. And you can scroll the mouse wheel while dragging to make it thicker or thinner. And for some reason, there we go. So I can make it this thin, or I can make it like ultra thick. And then when you left click, you can stitch it together however you want the river to go. And when you right click, it's done. So we're gonna start small, and then we'll just wind our way up, and I'll scroll the mouse wheel every now and then as I'm going up. And right click. Boom. It's not going to look perfect, but again, these maps are supposed to be more zoomed in, so we're going to go very small. Let's go a little bit bigger now. And a little bit. Oops, see, it's starting to bend a little bit like that, so I'm just going to do smaller clicks. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Remember, this is being traced off of my world map, so... Okay, this one's a little more tricky because I have to start... I went the wrong way. I have to start from the coastline. I need to think about how the water flows down. That was my bad. There we go. So we'll start down here. These are giant rivers, by the way. Like, these are huge rivers. Spank me, please. Be gentle. How you doing, Spank? It's been a while. How are you? Oh, wait, let me catch up on the chat. Lord P says, I'm doing good. Wait. How are you? Oh my gosh, that's such a great aspect of a DM. Yeah, I love DMing. It's so much fun. Shame, what do you mean? What kind of shameful things are you thinking? You're doing good, Spank. Not everything is sus like you. Bad Spank. I dozed off mid-Death Note stream to the chaos. No worries, it was super late. Like, it was a late stream. Cold Coffee Gamer in the house! You doxing me! Yeah, I used to be Cold Coffee Gamer. That was that was a long time ago. It's such a shame. I still have the videos on this channel, but they're all private because they use my face. One day we might go and watch them. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Jono Funk. Yep, I know some VTubers with unique names. Great because I'll never misspell it when searching. Great because I can never spell it right and get random videos. Yeah. I want this app. Maybe it'll inspire me to keep building my world, but I'm lazy, eh? Sadly, I don't see it if you type Jomo Funk. Ah, I should think about misspellings as well. Spank needs a special spank to spell right. Oh, you're using a special symbol in your name. Oh. Yeah, that's another tricky thing, right? If you use characters that are outside of English, it makes it much harder in search results. Like, for example, the Germans have a strange double S that looks like a B, where the bottom part of the B is not fully connected, but phonetically it sounds like Hauptstrasse. Hauptstrasse means main street, but the B, the B looking thing is actually two S's, so it's a long S. So Hauptstrasse. But yeah, that's it, Thankful. If I use that in my VTuber name, I would be cutting off like 90% of the world from my search results. Right? Essentially, only the Germans would show up in the search results. How long until we get Jono Funko? Oh my gosh. A Jono Funko Pop. Please don't draw a fan out of that. I hate Funko Pops. I don't know why, but there's just something about the head shape and the eyes that I really dislike. And if you collect Funko Pops, that's perfectly fine. I don't hate you. I just personally could never see myself buying a Funko Pop. Man, I was browsing the League of Legends, the Riot Games merchandise store the other day, and they had a Zoe figurine from Good Smile Company, you know, the main Japanese figurine making company. And I was like, oh, I'm so tempted, but it's $300. It's $300, Jono. You can't justify this purchase for a piece of plastic. As much as you want, as much as you would like the Zoe figurine, you cannot rationalize that expense. It looked amazing, though. Hold up. Let me show you. Let me show you with my words. Hold up. Zoe statue Riot. I mean, look at this. It's insane. Can I go to the next photo, please? I mean, look at that. Zoe is one of my main characters that I played in League of Legends. So I saw this and I was just like, oh, don't buy it, Jono. But I mean, that is amazing. Yeah. Oh. The thing about being an adult is knowing the difference between wanting something and needing something. As much as I want to say, I need it. I know I don't. I think this was actually one of the cut songs. Hold up. Oh, no. This this song is called A Fine Roast. A lot of these songs I commissioned when I was still coffee themed. So a lot of the names are coffee related. So this is called A Fine Roast and a bitter drink. The one song is called Sleep is for the Weak. I think it was, it's this one. This one is called Sleep is for the Weak. And I believe Arista actually says that in the main one. Let me see, where is it? Wait, where is it? Who added sugar? Pleased to meet you. Wait, why is it missing? Wait, hold up, it's missing. Wait. No. Sleep is for the Weak is no vocals. There it is, track 5. There it is. Hold up. There we go. Sleep is for the weak. Are you crazy? I do like this song. New Batsu idea. Jono roasts chat. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. Okay, are there any more rivers? No. The north is much more dry in Tarnithia. So, that's fine. Okay, let's turn off the overlay. Let's see how this is looking. Okay, that's looking good. I need to... Oh, I did it again. Why do I always do this? It's the scale, that's the problem. I keep scrolling the mouse wheel. There, right? Oh, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt. Something feels wrong. Ayaya. Rage. you remember the ayayas. Ayaya. I need the water tool. Arista's voice actress was really cute. She did a fantastic job on it. When I got the voice lines back from the voice actress, one of the voice lines I requested was the Hime laugh, the princess laugh, the oh ho, 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 ho. And when she sent the voice lines back to me, she basically said that was her absolute favorite one. She was so happy that she got a client who requested the Hime laugh. Oh, ho, 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 ho. I'm a very fun client. I love making artists have a blast with their work. I believe that artists make their best work when they're having fun and they're passionate about it, because you can't buy passion, right? So I try to inspire as much passion as I can whenever I commission art, where I just say, please have fun, be creative. If you're worried about changing too much, just always message me and I'll let you know if it's too far or whatnot. But please don't feel pressured, just have fun. And that's why I end up with so much amazing art. Liar Thresh. Oh my goodness, Raid, you take me back to the Thresh days. Sheesh. Man, it's been a while. It's been such a long time since we gamed. We gotta fix that. We really should fix that, Raged. I missed the chance to buy a massive figure of Ryuk because my mom forgot to shop. Yeah. I hate timed exclusives. The whole FOMO thing really annoys me. Okay, let's see. We can now paint the land. So paintbrush, and we're going to go with a green. I know I said I wanted it to be more of a purples and pinks for the forest here, but let's just first start off realistic before we go crazy with the other colors. So we'll do that. And I'm just going to paint everything in basic colors and we'll layer on top of that afterwards. Okay. So we then need some icy blues for the more snowy areas. I mean, we need a transitional layer between the icy and the thing. So I'll make an orangey section in a moment. So we need a new green that is more warm. So more of a plains-like color. And we'll go really big so that and we'll just keep clicking sporadically to create a patchiness to it. And now I can turn off the previous overlay because it's going to start confusing me. So, wow, that is bright. That is way too saturated. Also, let's change the ocean map. There we go. Also, I'm not the biggest fan of this particular song. Okay, coastline color. Let's draw that opacity down a bit more. Let's do. Okay, we'll stick with the brown for the coastline. Hold up. Okay, we can fix these colors now. So if I go to the land section and I choose paintbrush, and now we just got to dial it in a bit more. So we'll dial that there. We'll make a new dark green, but much better. Yeah, this part is a bit more hit and miss because I gotta go back and forth between the colors and add a sort of a splotchiness to the land, so it's not all just one singular color. So I'm just gonna focus on the forest section for now while I focus on the greens. Okay, too saturated. Then we can go back to this one. Make it darker towards the middle where it's more water, so it'll be more lush. Then we can go onto the plains a little bit more. We'll push. As for the ice, for the zone, let's make it more of a... I don't want it to be completely frozen over. Remember the good old Thresh and Misfortune combo that we did? Oh, yeah. And JC was so good with the jungle as well. Man, it's been such a long time since we had all 5 players throw down in a league match. There's so many champions now. It's kind of crazy. Okay, let's go for some grays as well to... Okay, now for those browns. I know it looks very splotchy at the moment, but I'm going to treat it in a bit. Yeah, this step is always a little tricky for me because I never know. Not that I never know. It's just, you know, you paint on it and it looks great. And then you zoom out and you go, oh my gosh, why is it so saturated? Right? Like right now, I feel like this is too dark. Turn the opacity way down. Oh, did I miss out on a lake, a river over here? Hold up. Did I miss out on a lake? By the way, Spank, how is this Jono's roast chat supposed to work? It sounds like it could be fun. Yeah, could you explain that a bit more in some more detail, please? Documents, books. Burp. Hold up. Let's see. Just zooming in now. Yeah, I did miss out on a river. Bad Jono. Super bad Jono. Overlay. Water. River. There we go. Much better. I knew I was missing something. And now if we compare it to before. Oh, there needs to be some more browns. Okay. Overlay. Reduce. I did it again, chat. Okay. Stop messing with the scale and just change the opacity. Okay, right now it's still too saturated. All the greens are too green. I need to go like way darker. Like way darker. There we go. Wait, what am I doing? Why am I doing it like this? I gotta change the islands. I forgot that I want to go with the purples. Okay, this is gonna be crazy, but I want there to be elements of purple and blues in this forest. So I'm gonna experiment quickly. Okay, no, the blue doesn't work, but the purple does. Wait, hold up. It looks radioactive. Radioactive. It looks like a chemical spill. But it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I actually want to. I'm gonna keep it for now. And we're gonna make it that there's a natural barrier, which is restricting the forests, the bioluminescent forests expansion. So this mountain range over here will be sort of a containment. So these are all bioluminescent forests, essentially. Radioactive. Ah, that looks terrible. That looks absolutely terrible. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna go traditional. I can't undo it. I can't undo it. No! Actually, that's not so bad. That's not so bad. When it's got just the hints of the purple. So if I... Yeah, that looks cool. Okay, there we go. So if I put a spot there and a spot there. Just lightly tap, Jono. Little taps. Little taps. There we go. Okay, now that looks good. Okay, that's more world map. World more mappy. Perfect. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. I'm trying to push the land over here to not be as dark. It's not really desert. I don't really want it to be desert either. But I might not have that much of a choice. Because if the barrier between them, maybe there's a green in here I can use. Like a grasslands. That's better. That is better. Oh, I forgot to mention. You want to know who lives on this island? If you haven't already, play Half-Life Alyx. Yeah, I got a Meta Quest 3 headset last month, and I bought Half-Life Alyx in the Steam sale. So yeah, I'm gonna stream Half-Life Alyx. I want to get my electric shirt working because I bought an AWO shirt, but it's not working with my PC, and I've been emailing their support back and forth for the past few months. But yes, it's an electric shirt that electrocutes you in-game. It doesn't just have to be for VR games, but it's most immersive with VR games when you can feel the bullets and the knife wounds and everything. So I want to combine them together. Not the AWO shirt. I will get it working. Don't worry. I'll get it working. Okay. So far, I'm actually kind of happy with that. It's looking better. Let's see, we can add in a title, right? Label, title. Tarnithia. Oh. Oh, I didn't know I could save that as a... Okay. I didn't mean it to do it that way. That font is not so great though. No, that's too... let me just have a quick look at my other maps. Which ones did I use? Okay, that one is pretty standard. That one also looks pretty good. Celestial Den looks pretty good. Okay, so I didn't use all caps. Okay, that's the big difference there. I didn't use all caps. So Tarnithia. We got definitely not that one. Definitely not that one. Definitely not that one. Lancelot looks pretty good. If we push the scale up even more. No, it looks terrible. You know what? Merryweather is fine. Yeah, there we go. I'll push up the size even more. Why not? Yay, there we go. Okay. So we got kind of a little bit here. I'm looking forward to a stealth single player game, kind of VR game. I'm here for the Mimis. Mimis, welcome, welcome. How you doing? How are you today? Yes, I do want to play. What was it called again? It's a famous stealth based game. Hold up, I'm opening Steam now. What was it called? I think it was made by Bethesda. I'm trying to have a look. Oh, stealth. Wait, I got an idea. Steam libraries, collections, create a new library, dynamic collections. We're going to look for the word stealth. So all my games that are tagged with stealth. Where are we? Oh, we have the Batman Arkham games. I've only played the first Batman Arkham game, Arkham Asylum. I never played the other ones. So maybe we can stream the Batman game next year. Like all 3 Batman games. Okay, continuing to look. Metro Exodus does look fun. I do want to play that. Wait, it's not here? I do, yeah, one of them is Thief. I do want to play Thief. But what was it? I think it was a Bethesda game where you play as an assassin. Dishonored! That was it. Dishonored. Yes, I've got Dishonored 1 and 2. So I would like to stream Dishonored next year. That's one of the big ones. I never played it, believe it or not. I've never played it. So yeah, I want to play Batman, the Arkham series, and I also want to play Dishonored next year. What VR if not? Oh yeah, I have the new Batman Arkham VR game. It came with my my Quest headset. We should definitely play that as well. So on Tarnithia, there are several species. The Satari have sort of staging ports along the coastlines to the north here. The Thrope have a few fishing villages on the side here, but the Thrope are not really well established on this continent. But they do have a couple of Thrope here. The Kui are also on this island, more in the mountain ranges. And this jungle area belongs to the Sonwu. So they are the species based off of the Sun Wukong mythology, the Chinese mythology of Sun Wukong. There are two subgroups within this one species. So you have they are the Kongs, and the one subgroup is called the Sonwu. So Sun Wukong. And then the other group is called the Ko. So you have the Ko Kongs and the Sun Wukongs. And essentially the Sonwu are more monkey based, and they will have paralysis touch and stone skin, whereas the Ko Kongs are more ape based, more gorilla based. So they will have sort of grip strength, projectile roar, roaring, extreme roars, regeneration, that kind of stuff. So yeah, there are 2 subgroups within the Kongs, because some of my species have subgroups. And essentially the way that it works in my universe in Sorors is that species cannot cross breed. It's the only word I can think of right now. You can't crossbreed between species, but if they are of the same species but different subgroup, then the resulting child will be either one or the other subgroup. So it's a kind of a coin flip. So if a Sonwu and a Kokong were to couple, the resulting child would either be a Sonwu or a Ko. So one or the other. Same thing with the centaurs, because there are 3 subgroups within the centaur species. There's the Kelpie, the Pegasus, and the unicorns. So if any 2 of those 3 mix together, it will still result in one or the other. And in extremely rare cases, maybe even the 3rd, depending on their family line. So a unicorn and a Pegasus get together, and the result is a Kelpie. The first part makes biological sense, yes. Also, from a writer's perspective, I don't want to tear my hair out worrying about hybrids. I'm like, half Seraph, half devil. What the hell am I going to do with that? The power balance would get so broken. So yeah, no mixing of the species. But yeah, essentially this forest section that's filled with the bioluminescence belongs to the Kong factions. So the Monkey Kings, because there are multiple monkey kingdoms. The Monkey Kings and the Kongs will sort of be in the southern part of this, and also hidden in this forest area will also be some unicorns, a few unicorn packs. Unicorns are close to extinction in Sorors. And the reason why the unicorns are near extinction is because there is no easy healing. There is no magical healing in my world. If you break a bone, if my players break a bone, it will take weeks to a few months for them to heal from that. So just to give a slight tease, he, the Kitsune player, got into a battle. And this was in their prologue story. So when we started the group sessions, they were already injured. They already had cut wounds from their first battle. And it took them a few weeks of in-game to actually heal from those wounds. They did have medical treatment though. So yeah, my players like freaked out a little bit where they're like, okay, combat is serious. But unicorns are one of the few species that has a magical healing property where their unicorn horns can be substituted to cause miraculous healing. However, this has resulted in many of the other species poaching them. So the unicorns are in hiding, and most of them, they're on the verge of extinction because everybody wants their horns for the healing properties. So yeah, there are some unicorns on this continent, but they are hidden deep in the forest, and the few people that they trust, they have made very strong friendships with. So wait, isn't this redhead a crossbreed? Oh, you mean Zenai? Zenai's cheating. Okay, Zenai's cheating. She's not a crossbreed of a Seraph and an orc, but she was accepted into the orc tribe. So they see her as an honorary family member. And as a result, the orc's magic system applies to her because they view her as an orc, even though she's a seraph. Even though she started as an outsider, she became treated as a fellow orc. So therefore, the orc magic works with her. So she's... don't say it. I'm not saying it. I am not saying anymore. If you want to find out how and why that works, you'll have to buy my book. Or watch the TTRPG. I'll probably end up spoiling it there when I explain to my players. But yeah. Okay, I will still need to place down a few locations like a Seraph Tower, because there is a Seraph Tower. There's a Seraph Tower on almost every continent. The Seraphs are known as one of the immortal birds because once they get their wings, they actually stop their aging process. However, they can still be killed. You know, if you stab a Seraph through the heart or if you cut off their head, they're gonna die, right? Like they are still mortals. It's just that the effects of aging no longer apply to them as long as they have their wings. If they lose their wings, they start aging. The Phoenix are the other immortal birds, but they're in the opposite sense. The Phoenix can essentially die of old age. However, their bodies are stuck in a loop. They fuse their souls in a circle. So even when they die, they will regenerate, but they will still die of old age. So the Phoenix are like near physically immortal, but they will still pass after they reach old age. However, the Seraphs don't die from old age, but they're still vulnerable to the physical injury. So the Phoenix and the Seraph are kind of opposites in that sense. I can't wait to play into the radius. Man, Noise Mimis, I did it. I found the perfect VR gun game for you. Ooh, what's it called? Into the Radius. I'll have to look that up. Let me quickly find a symbol for a Seraph Tower. Hold on. We have one here, I think. Oh, that's tricky. I don't see it. Come on. That's the one thing. This tower is not very good for... I mean, the searching through all the labels. Here we go. So I'm going to plop you on here. And what I can do is if I go to the land paintbrush, and I should be able to do a cheeky... No? There we go. I can paint it a different color. Okay, so we have a Seraph tower up there. But the rest of it, I'm going to have to sort of save for my players. And we've been streaming for over 2 hours, so it's a good time here. I can't wait to play it. Single player, sniper, knives, you can be stealthy and more. It's perfect. Ooh, I'm liking that. Okay, it's been too long, and it's going to be embarrassing when I ask, but what's a Seraph? Okay. A Seraph, in the actual sort of biblical interpretation of it, was a many-winged angel that could shoot fire. It had 3 heads, it had 3 faces and 6 wings and could like spit fire. That's the sort of Old Testament interpretation of a Seraph. New Testament, they're called angels. But in Sorors, in my world, they are based off of owls that had metallic crowns, which were essentially misinterpreted as halos. And they were 6-winged owls. Hold up, I've got art. Let me show you the art, Jono. Show them the art. Art. Where is the primals? Where are the primals? Commission? No. Is it under characters? Yeah, here we go. So this was a primal Seraph from Sorors. So they were 6-winged owls with metallic crowns. And the way that their wings functioned in their primal forms was that their wings would absorb spirits in the same way that an owl's wings would absorb sound. You know, they would, you know how owls are incredibly stealthy predators, right? Seraphs would use their spirit absorbing properties of their feathers to essentially make them invisible to any magical detection from other magical species. And yes, as a result of this, they also essentially drain the energy of the area around them. So they absorb heat very easily. And when Seraphs use their magic, everything gets extremely cold very quickly. So in Sorors, after humanity cursed everybody by accident, the Seraphs are hatched as normal humans, and their eggs become their halos. So the eggshells, the metallic eggshells, become their halos, and it takes a journey for them to discover their wings. So once they find their purpose in life, they get their first set of wings. When they master that purpose, they get their second set of wings. So then they get 4 wings. And then I'm not giving any spoilers on what it takes to get your third set. But let's just say there hasn't been a 6-winged Seraph in hundreds of years. It's extremely rare. So usually the high-level Seraphs in Sorors have 4 wings. So Zenai has 4 wings. I had 4 wings. Like the whole backstory that you see in the animatic whenever I start my channel, the whole party where Zenai goes full on Doom Guy on me and tries to murder me, that party was to celebrate me getting my 4th wings. My 4th set of wings. But here's the fun thing, right? Is that Seraph wings are incredibly dangerous because whenever Seraphs do use magic, it freezes the air around them, so it's very destructive. So culturally, they've developed a behavior expectation that all Seraphs must be very considerate, they must be well behaved, they must be kind and supportive. So it's a very stifling culture because there's this expectation of being nice, right? Which is why humanity misunderstood them as angels, because they're like, oh wow, they must be angels, they're so wonderful and helpful and everything, they must be messengers from a higher power. Where it's more like the Seraphs are just like, okay, listen, children, we know you got your wings, don't kill the entire planet. Don't freeze everybody you meet, you know, be a good person. So the way the Seraphs work is that in order for them to get their wings, they have to go out and travel and meet other species and sort of engage with the world to try and find what their purpose is. And then once they get their first set of wings, they then return to their aviaries, their academies and aviaries to then learn their magic systems. So essentially a Seraph is at most vulnerable when it doesn't have any wings. And yeah, so for example, with Jono's backstory, with my backstory, I traveled across deserts, I met a dragon, and eventually I settled in a Thrope village. And it was during my time in that Thrope village, I met Marin. And after helping Marin, who was going to die because they didn't want to take a new host and continue being like a murderous parasite, because of that, I was able to sustain the Marin without actually losing my soul, which is how I got my first set of wings. And then once I stopped the war between two Thrope kingdoms, that's when I got my second set of wings. And at the party where I was going to celebrate, you know, getting my second set of wings, Zenai snapped because she thought that, without going into any spoilers, she basically was trying to protect Arista, because in the backstory, Arista and I were getting close because Arista was assigned to research me because of the succubi thing with Marin. And, you know, having a tame succubi is extremely, like, not heard of. Because, you know, succubi are extremely difficult to identify, let alone work with. So, Arista was essentially assigned to research me. And during that research, her and I were supposed to be growing closer. But when Zenai found about this, she was not having any of it. She was not going to risk her little sister's life. So she tried to kill me on sight. That's the story. That's the story. So I essentially had to sacrifice my wings in order to rip a hole to Earth. So because the Seraph's wings are part of their soul. I lost essentially half my soul coming here to Earth. And I'm now trying to heal my soul by making you guys laugh. So because my purpose is to make others laugh and to make people feel accepted and wanted and needed. So by making you guys laugh here on this channel, I'm healing my soul. I'm recovering my feathers. I'm getting my wings back so that one day I can go back to Sorors, essentially. And then start all over again, because it's going to have to cost my wings just to open up another portal. So hopefully I don't die of old age before I get back. Lael says, you don't want to fight her, Seal. Trust me. Yeah, chat. Okay, again, no spoilers, but let's just say Zenai made an appearance. My players got to see what Zenai in action looks like. It's yeah. So yeah, I was just busy working on Tarnithia, Lael. I still need to put in some landmarks for like cities and locations and stuff. But there's a bioluminescent forest over here, by the way. And I know that you guys are going to be interacting with the Sonwu and the Kos. So the Kongs, the two subgroups of the Kongs. Small hint, they live in these bioluminescent forests. So yeah, it's not just going to be a lush jungle, it's going to be a colorful lush jungle. And I put one Seraph Academy Avery over here. But yeah, I've been chatting a lot about my world here without giving too many spoilers. It was intense. Also, Lael, did Key send you a preview of your character, the concept sketch for your character? I told Key that they can send the art to everybody as it's coming along. No, not yet. I told them that they can send it to you guys as like whenever they want. So okay, I'll wait. I'll let them message you when it's ready, because I don't want to share art when it's not ready. I know how much it sucks when you're like, oh, my work wasn't complete, don't show it to people. That said, oh yeah, I showed everybody Tella's one because it's completed. Hold up. Have a look at this. Have a look at Tella's character. It's so cute. It's so cute. Look at this. Oh, it's so good. It's so cute. So yeah, Tella's character is done. Yeah. So I've just been like vibing for the past 2 hours, talking about my world and making this map. Tarnithia is huge. Tarnithia is absolutely huge. Kawaii. Yeah. What's awesome is that Key has also done a whole bunch of expressions for them as well. So I can cycle between expressions. So including a little goofy one as well. Wow, it's exactly how I was imagining her. It's cute. Yeah, I was telling Chad about how every single character that wants to shake hands with her has to offer a baby finger. It's very cute. Not me thinking her wings look like white watermelon. Ah, you're right. It's kind of, but it's a moth. She's got a moth wings. So she has to make a composure check every time she sees fire. She has to, sorry, a resolve check. So she has to fight her inner moth's ability to go towards the flame. Never mind, it's dragon fruit. Ah! Yeah, I believe she said it was a white tiger moth. Let me have a quick look here. Hold up. Tiger moth. Was it a snow tiger moth? Yeah, there we go. So it kind of looks like that. Fluffy. That was an important thing. Tella was very specific that her wings are floofy. So they're nice and floofy, which keeps her warm. Very cute. Fluffy moth wings. Ah. Yeah, it's kind of like having a built-in coat. You know? Like you always have a nice coat with you at any time. Oh yeah, let me show you chat as well. Hold up. So this is Zenai. This is Zenai in her battle crazed state because, again, without spoilers, Zenai's purpose. You know how every Seraph has to discover what their purpose is. Their purpose. Zenai discovered that her purpose is to fight. Her purpose is to fight, and she loves it. She loves every second she's in combat. I hate to say it, but she kind of gets her rocks off on combat. She lives to fight. She actually tricked the council when she got back, because when she unlocked her first set of wings, every Seraph is supposed to return to the academy to explain what their purpose is. And because she was such a problem child, even before she got her wings, before she was sent on her journey to find her purpose, she was always a bit of a problem child, you know, too unruly. So when she discovered her purpose was to fight, she knew that the council was not going to accept that. So she told the council that her purpose is to master the art of swordcraft. So wielding a sword, so sword play. And they bought it. They believed her. So she always uses a sword, but so they think that her purpose is to be a master swordsman. But in reality, her purpose is actually just to fight. She loves a brawl. She's been around for over 200 years, and she's pretty much the reason why every species has a don't with the Seraphs rule. She's essentially made sure that every civilization knows don't with the Seraphs. Because this is what happens. This is what happens when they stop trying to be kind and helpful and supportive. Because you know they have a very strict culture of being compassionate. This is what an unchained Seraph does. So she's the Mike Tyson of the Owl world. I would say she's more like the Gojo. She's the Seto Gojo. Yeah, she's essentially the Jujutsu Kaisen. She's the Gojo level at Gojo's level. Time to research how to chop off her wings. Good luck. Because she's remember, the Seraph's wings are part of their soul. So they can fold their wings in and out of existence as they need them. So when she doesn't need her wings, they actually sort of fold in on themselves and disappear. But when she needs them, they fold out. Whereas the Pegasus, their wings on their back, because they only have 2 wings, but their wings are permanent. They're a physical part of their body. Whereas the Seraph's wings are an expression of their soul. So their soul, Zenai can fold her wings in and out of combat whenever she needs to, and she's got the reaction time to pull that off. So even if you try to chop her wings, they will just disappear and then reappear the moment your sword has passed where they should have been. She's a demon. She's an absolute monster. Trust me. This is picking a fight with Zenai is like walking up to Gojo and trying to slap him. It's just not going to end badly for you. Gojo never seemed like a fighter out of love. Isn't she closer to Kenpachi? Well, yes, Kenpachi is like batshit crazy, right? Zenai is very cunning politically, even though when she was a child, she was very unruly. So she was a bit of a problem child, even like in the academy and such. But as she got older and she realized the importance of social politics and socialization, she got very good at understanding how to play the politics game. So she has a seat on the Council of Wings. Despite the council almost her entire life trying to control her and stop her from being so freaking wild, she eventually managed to she managed to create her own seat on the council, basically. And it's not like most of the Seraphs on the council can really tell her no at this point. Yeah, she was not happy when she found out that I was essentially also like, after I got my 4th set of wings, there was already talk of putting a seat for Jono Funk on the tape on the council, and it took Zenai like 100 years of scheming and like struggle to get to that position, and I kind of ended up shortcutting it, and I was a threat to her sister. So essentially, just from me existing was a really unfortunate. Me existing was unfortunate because it automatically put me on her bad books. That's essentially the beef with my animatic. Is essentially Zenai went through so much and I didn't. Like I said, when you guys read her backstory, because I've got her entire book planned out now. I've got almost every single chapter like ready, like beaten out, like story beats are ready. I've just got to sit down and write it now. When you guys read it, you're going to hate me. You're going to hate me because you'll understand her better. Yep, she is. Trust her, she really is a monster. In conclusion, she's a really well-written antagonistic character. Yeah, I mean, in her own story, you're gonna understand so much. But yeah. I'm loving my world. I'm so excited to share it with you. And it's very hard not to give any more spoilers. But you know who can beat her? Human Jono, the writer, SCP Swan proposal style. Well, no, I joke that what's it? Because I'm the writer. I'm getting my revenge on Zenai by making her backstory as miserable as possible. That's the thing, right? As a writer, you have to make your characters struggle, because struggle is how they change, and character development is all about change. Whether that's good or bad change, it's still change. You need your characters to change as the reader goes through the story. So, yeah. I mean, you can have the core of your character stay the same. Like Tanjiro, for example, is the bestest of boys in Demon Slayer, but you know, you can have Tanjiro's character develop in different ways without losing what it is that makes Tanjiro, for example. Oh, see what I mean? Yeah, that's more of me being petty. Like, I love my characters. Like, I don't want Arista to get hurt for obvious reasons. So it's gonna be hard if I ever need to like make Arista suffer, because like I love that character so much. She's like, she was the first. Stop it! My wallpaper keeps popping up. But she was one of the first characters I ever wrote for my story. In fact, I have a line that I'm going to use in my book when one of my characters reaches their lowest point and basically says to Arista why Arista can continue to be so positive. And she basically says that she believes the true strength in this world is not letting the world take away your kindness. That was the first line I wrote for Sorors. I woke up at 3 a.m. and this whole world popped into my head, and that was the first line of dialogue that came to my mind, was this character like picking up an injured protagonist and essentially saying that Yeah, true strength is not letting the world take away your kindness. I was like, write that down, write that down. I never forgot that. That was almost 10 years ago. Oh my gosh. All right. I've been chatting away for like 3. Oh no, I have a collab. I have Tears collab soon. When is it? Okay, I got like an hour and I still have to level up my character in Tears campaign. Okay. We gotta end it here. Let me put on the outro song. Wabam. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming by. I will see you tomorrow. We'll play something. We'll play something nice and easy tomorrow afternoon. All right, another one. Yep. I gotta level up my character because we're in that other dimension. We're in that vampire dimension at the moment in Tears campaign. So yeah, thank you everybody for coming by. I hope you had a little bit of fun. Today was more of a just chat while I painted, essentially, but I hope you guys enjoyed me geeking out about my world, and I'm so excited. 2025 is going to be a big year for this channel. I want 2025 to be a big year for me overall in everything that I do, and I really want to push these stories for you guys so you can see learn more about my world, get the books, etc. So all right, 2025 is going to be amazing. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow or next week, Thursday. Have a wonderful time. Bye-bye. Seal.